like me better when I'm with you.
And welcome back to another reaction video. Today we're going to react to Drowned Man Chapter 1 by Markiplier. If you want to see this video for yourself, will be in the description below. And it's a new skit that Mark made like a few hours ago, and now Raid is in this for some reason. It's gonna be probably be a little funny a little bit, but I want to see him. I want to see Raid actually being serious for once in my life. But let's get to it.
State your name for the record.
Wade Barnes.
Where were you born?
Last name Barnes.
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Where do you live?
Cincinnati, Ohio.
How long has the demon been plaguing you?
Demon, spirit, poltergeist. Whatever it was, it all started 2018,
Last year.
sometime late February, and it was almost exactly midnight. Molly and I were pulling into the driveway after 27 hours of being on airplanes, and we were just so excited to get home. And as we pulled in the driveway and the clock struck 12, we noticed our front door
It's open.
on the ground in front of the house, laying on the sidewalk.
Water, once the bringer of life, now the bringer of death. And the recipient of this cruel fate, a man by the name of George Wade Barnes. A simple man with simple dreams, but not a simple fate. For whether by his own volition or by the cruel hand of fate, a demon of aquatic nature has entered into his home. And now we must tell the story. But it's very important for you to know that every word of this story is true. This all happened, and it all happened to one very unlucky individual. This is the story of the drowned man.
We were so tired, our first thought was, we'll deal with it tomorrow. So we went to sleep and just hoped that we were safe. Our best guess as to what happened, I mean, we had a lot of thoughts cross our minds. Did someone try to break into the house? Did the wood just rot away? But our biggest suspicion was that it was a storm. So, I mean, after the front door, we didn't get it fixed right away. We still don't fully have it fixed. But the rest of the year, we had a couple things crop up that week, that month. As the summer progressed into fall, the stopper in the sink didn't work. We had to have the toilet on the main floor fixed. We had to replace the kitchen faucet because there was a drip under the faucet, the first drip in the house. But it wouldn't be the last. The water heater went out. We had to get that replaced. Sediment started pouring into the tub upstairs. Just all kinds of little things that just added up and added up and added up and left us thinking maybe this was something more than bad luck or typical house maintenance.
Now, I'm going to pause you there because you said sediment was coming out of your tub so casually, as if that was normal.
With the amount of problems we've had, especially wet, water, leaking, dripping, flowing, flooding, I don't know.
Would you say that the sediment looked a bit like blood?
I don't know that I would say that. No.
You said that the tub flowed out pink water. Was it because there was blood in the water?
I think it was a bath bomb, but you know, I mean, I can't rule it out.
Paint me a picture of everything starting from, and I quote, 12:55 a.m. when you finished your D&D stream.
It was pretty typical that we'd finish up between 12:50, 1:10 a.m. We'd wrap up right in that time frame. 12:55, we officially ended the stream, and normally we stay in the call and just chit-chat a bit to make sure we're all going to be there next week, etc., etc. But as soon as we ended the stream, and I kind of kicked back, I heard a noise. I didn't know what it was, so I told everyone in the call to give me a moment. And I stood up and I took a step out of my office. And what I saw confused me. The air vent in the ceiling was dripping. Didn't think that was very normal. It's like, okay, is it because of the AC unit? No, this was January 31st in Cincinnati of 2019. This was the coldest night we had had the entire year, with wind chill temperatures down to -6. So why was there water in the air vent? And then past the air vent is a window. That window had water running down. Oh, it must be raining. But the water's running on the inside. I walked over to it. The wall was popped out.
Did it look a bit like a vein? Something that would carry blood?
I mean, technically the way it was puffed out, yeah, like if you're flexing a muscle and your vein kind of sticks out, it kind of had that look to it.
Did you check it for a pulse?
No, I didn't think to do that. I ran up the stairs, and it was even scarier up there. We used to have a light fixture that sat in front of our TV. The light fixture was pouring out water. Our ceiling fan was spinning and was pouring out water.
Was the fan dripping blood?
No. Why are you trying to keep... Are you trying to assume something
I can't
here?
say I stared at what the fan was dripping out, but if I had to make a guess, I would say it was probably water. Our coffee table was covered in water, our floor was soaked in water, and then I remembered that Molly had told me she was going to take a bath that night. And everything froze, and my heart dropped, and the only thought I had was that my wife had drowned. The tub was overflowing, and I had to go stop the tub, and I was gonna have to figure out how to deal with losing my wife, and I panicked. I screamed her name. I ran up those stairs faster than I think I ever have or ever will again, and I ran into the bedroom, and I looked in the bathroom, preparing myself for the worst. And thankfully, she was standing there with headphones in her ears. She was watching a live stream on her phone or iPad. But the tub was draining. The shower had pink water rising. And then the panic of thinking that something had happened to Molly went away. But then the panic of trying to save our house began.
This place, I can feel it. Something bad happened here, didn't it? Especially from this area here. I'm getting the sense that someone tried so hard and yet everything fell apart around them.
Does this still have something to do with the house and the ghosts?
Yes, but maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Hello, I'm Mark. Nice to meet you.
How'd you get in?
The door was open. It was kind of on the ground. Anyway, ghosts.
Yeah. Okay.
I hear you have a haunting.
I wouldn't say that it's...
Shut up. Is this where it started?
Yeah, I was sitting right here whenever I heard the noise that ended up being the dripping.
This chair has no lumbar support. Anyway, what did you hear?
It sounded like the plastic ruffling around, like maybe the cat was down here playing with the plastic.
But what was it really? Did you investigate?
Yeah, I thought he was, yeah.
Show me. Reenact it. Relive it. I'm sorry if it pains you.
Okay,
More pain.
this air vent just had water flowing from it. There's plastic here and the water was just dripping onto the plastic and seeping into the floor.
Water.
The window there had water pouring down.
The window had water. You know what?
There's something was gonna be
There's
some
water inside of it.
Ice?
Blood. You can smell it. It's here.
No blood.
Turn out the light.
No blood.
Kill it. Now. The light.
Doesn't that taste
It's
good?
on. There we go. Can you feel it?
A little chilly.
But it's the middle of summer.
John said that.
Why would it be so chilly?
I mean, we're
In the
in
middle of
a
summer.
basement with air conditioning on.
No. Something unnatural. natural happened here.
So at this point, we knew we had to mitigate the damage. We had to stop whatever was happening to the best we could. So we grabbed towels from the bathroom, we grabbed towels from the laundry room, we grabbed blankets, we grabbed anything we could find to help soak up water. We stopped the tub from draining, we tried to soak up the water on the floor in the bathroom, we tried to catch the water pouring out in the basement, we tried to dry off the window. But it seemed like no matter what we would do, the water would not stop. If I had a light on, I'd be able to see a little bit better, but
you don't need to see. You need to feel.
I just heard weight in my
crack.
Weight in my left
Because
side.
they replaced the drywall down here. So I think it's right above me, but
I can't see it. Turn the light on.
Mark's over.
All right.
Thank you. Oh, I see it.
Yeah, there's a
wow.
line right here.
Yeah, why? You didn't get it fixed by professionals, did you? I sense more bad drywall here. More water damage. More water.
Hopefully this was the other drywall ended up being replaced.
Show me.
Third time. Oh. You want this light on?
No, turn it off. Save energy. Look, there's a light on in your office. You're just gonna leave it on. Oh no, I'll turn it off. No, I got it.
I thought
I've got it. Your computer's on in there too.
I was working right before you, but
You know how much energy people waste every year? For no reason. Why was this light on here when we came down here?
so we could see to go back.
Oh, that was so... Never mind.
Yeah.
People were still on that.
The ceiling fan was pouring, the light fixture was pouring, and while the water was being caught, I was on the phone for 2 or 3 hours trying to get somebody to help. There was nobody. The plumbers told me they could be there within an hour, hour and a half, but it took much longer. And all the while we sat there watching our lives washed and drowned away. Ceiling in here, basically,
There was water here.
yeah, that's what I was saying.
There was water right here. Rivers of it.
Yeah, the fan, and there used to be a light fixture that sat right here. Poured out water here, all over the floor. Poured out water from the fan.
What happens when water suddenly gushes from places it shouldn't gush?
It gets things wet.
Yeah, it'd be.
Damages.
You're learning. But what else?
It destroys stuff that's not meant to be wet.
No.
So,
It means a baby's on the way.
Are we done? I need to talk to my wife.
I'm thinking
what
that your house
is having a
is a
baby?
gateway for some greater evil to be born into this world.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were telling me my wife was pregnant.
I thought that too. All the
Greater
house.
evil?
I mean, I can't rule that out.
Greater evil also doesn't sound good, though. That's like the second worst thing you could have told me.
The worst thing would be a baby? No.
I mean, right now, like,
Cancer?
the house cost a lot to fix.
Nuclear war?
I wouldn't have to pay for
Climate
that.
change? That doesn't bother you?
I feel like we do pay for that. Is that in our taxes?
You don't need to keep paying to solve problems. Some problems are solved. Why not pay?
You're not gonna charge me anything for this, are you?
Of course I am.
So you shut off the main water line, and water was still pouring.
Yeah, that told me that. It sounds stupid, but that told me that either it was a drainage pipe or something unexplainable was going on.
Now, all things considered, this seems like something that could happen to anybody. Everyone's had a pipe burst in their house. Everybody's had some leak somewhere. Everybody's had a tunnel overflow. Despite all the weirdness,
Not like on the
this seems
ceiling
fairly
fans.
normal.
And that's what we thought too. We thought everything was normal and this was just a horrible accident. Again, it was -6 degrees wind chill outside. Maybe one of the pipes burst that was trying to drain the water from the tub, and that didn't explain the water coming back out through the shower. The next best thought we had, and the plumber that eventually showed up at not at 3 a.m., not at 4 a.m., not at 5,
6.
not at 6, but after 7 in the morning, when the plumber finally got there and the ceiling fan had quit dripping, but not the light. The light still poured. when he cut the holes in the ceiling in the basement, the holes in the walls, and he got into those pipes and he did his best assessment, what he could tell me was, your house is wet and we don't know why. So at the very least, the only thing that got resolved that night was the water finally stopped pouring out of the ceiling, but the plumber couldn't tell us what happened. So the next day, after 3 hours of sleep, I got up and called another plumber, who came out after an hour or two, and he found another place to cut a hole in the wall in the basement, took one of those snakes with a camera on the end and put it in the pipe, went all the way up to the T-junction that connects the shower and the tub, all the way down from the pipe to the sewage line, and found nothing. No sign of it freezing, no sign of it clogging, no sign of it being dirty. This is where they put the snake in. They went all the way up to check the T-junction pipe where those two connected, and then all the way back down to where this drains into the sewer. Called another plumber. He came in, put a snake up the pipe, put a snake down the pipe, all the way up to where the shower and the tub are, all the way down to the sewage line, pulled the thing back out, and basically looked at us and said,
nothing.
No sign of a clog, no sign that it was frozen. Something went wrong, but I don't know what. At that point, I wasn't thinking of what could possibly be haunting the house. I was just thinking of saving it.
Did you save it?
I don't know.
You would think that his story would end there, but no. Just because people didn't know what the problem was didn't mean that the problem wouldn't continue. Not for mere weeks, not for mere months, but nearly a year. A year of suffering at the cruel hand of fate. A watery demise to be buried in a watery grave. And so Wade suffered. And he suffered. And he suffered. And just when he thought he could suffer no more, fate learned to be even more cruel.
Watch out the two here.
Oh, ye cruel fate! Won't you have mercy on this poor man's soul? Nay! Fate says. Fate does not smile unless it is a cruel smile. And you may be asking yourself, how can I help this poor man in this incredibly unbelievable and yet entirely true story? How can I alleviate some of this suffering? Well, you can't. But what you can do is immortalize the suffering forever in this commemorative t-shirt design, showcasing his peak moment of suffering right here, so that you can wear it upon your body and cherish the deep, delectable memories. And in all fairness, all proceeds from this will not go to me, even though I probably deserve it. The proceeds will go to the man who suffers. So if you would like to support Mr. Wade Barnes in his moment of despair, why not consider buying this commemorative t-shirt that's only available for a limited amount of time and in limited quantity. Act fast, it may already be washed away.
Guys, please comment down below. I'll see y'all next video.
All the music said they wanna bring me home, yeah. Shorty, why you stalling? Are you gonna give